I'm not. Oh, I'm A.
I hope the strength of your heart.
Got the A rank. Okay, well, oh. Let's talk about it. Let's have a good think. Maybe I'll turn this into some YouTube content. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm pressing the wrong buttons. My name's AutoMattock, and I'm gonna talk about how I feel about this game. I just got A rank with T-Zock. First day was a little rough. I was getting beeped up because I just didn't understand the pace of the game, and you know, I want to play boomer neutral, and it's just not really there. It kind of is, but kind of not. Oh, the game crashed. Cool. Why does the UI lag? Why is it when you're navigating the UI, it's laggy? I think aesthetically, the way the game looks, as far as the UI design, it's not bad. It's kind of good looking. But as far as the user interface, like how you select things, it's pretty clunky, which is pretty forgivable. It's not that big of a deal. But there's just some things that are not user-friendly. And the first thing to point out is the lag. Like when you're just navigating the menu, there seems to be a couple frames of lag. Why? I think the start menu looks good, but it's not intuitive. Like I have to look for where stuff is at. But you got your online, you got your offline, and practice is over here. And then you have to select it. But when you select it, then you're, you know, whatever is red, I guess is what you're picking. This is just weird. Why is there a mouse that you can't use your mouse with, you know? And there's like an acceleration on it. Strange. Same thing. It feels like it gets in the way. Like if I want to select a character, I want to be able to just go over there quickly, not like hover. This is like, I think Smash Brothers has this too. So kind of weird. But this also, this leads into the training mode. The training mode, I give that motherfucker a C. It's functional. It got everything you need, I think. The learning curve is just annoying, but it's not that bad. So you see how on this top part here, I guess I can't show my mouse. Yeah, on this top part, this is where you're selecting things. And then there's a scroll wheel in the middle of it. It's like, it's such a small thing to complain about, but why? I just want to know why. It's so weird. It's like, it gives you the impression that that's all the options. So then you try to go down, and then when you're trying to go down, you think you're gonna go to like restore default settings into these other settings, but like, oh, there's more stuff. And then just the look of it hurts my eyes. I don't know if it's just the color, the black and yellow. It should be pretty easy to see, but it makes it like awkward. But that's all right. So you do have a lot of the options, which are good. Counter, which also includes wild punish, which fighting games, we gotta just make words mean whatever you want them to mean. Wild punish is it's like if you were to whiff punish something, you hit the recovery or something, which doesn't always apply. If somebody uppercuts, you just get a regular counter, as far as I know. So that's there, that's cool. And here's another thing, like if you go to, first you wanna make them do some kind of guard, right? Rev guard, just defense, hyper defense. And then when you do that, you make them guard. So if you want them to guard, you gotta do normal guard, then guard. Which I guess makes sense. Just I don't know, there's something off about it. And then you do normal guard, you want like random guard. This is really important. And that's cool. So then you have sub menus like this. This is so weird, but whatever. So you got player 1 life, player 1 health, player 1 SPG. Player 2 life, player 2 health, player 2 SPG. Then it goes back to player 1 power gauge, player 2 power gauge, and then it goes player 1, player 2, player 1, player 2. Why don't I just separate it for player 1 and player 2? More often you're going to be adjusting your settings, the player 1 settings, and then you do the player 2 stuff. So it just feels like it's almost like it's an intentional troll. Like, all right, they gotta work their way around this. They'll figure it out. They're fighting game players, right? As far as the recording, I think recording things is pretty easy. You have to set your button to it, and then you can just do it, stop it, and then they do it. And then you find out how to anti-air. And that's pretty much that. But these other options, I haven't experimented with them much. But they seem to work. You do have reversal on certain things. Oh, and you have to do like recording slot 1, and then when you record, it goes to recording slot 1, and then you gotta switch it, recording slot 2, and then you gotta turn it on. So it gets the job done. It's not nearly as good as like Street Fighter 6's training mode, which I think should be the gold standard. It should be that and better. That should be every fighting game. The frame meter in Street Fighter 6 is excellent, and I wish I would trade Ronaldo in a second for a frame meter. Let me get that budget. So I think that's pretty much it. Of course, there's also the like problem of lobbies. I don't know if they changed it, but you have to like add somebody as a friend, and there's something with like a room code. You got to put in like 25 numbers or something crazy. I mean, if you want people to run tournaments and easily play the game, you want lobbies to be as smooth as possible. Just click, click, boom. Not like laggy menu, mouse. You got to punch in some numbers. That's a lot. We went over that. Oh, the netcode. I mean, there really isn't much to say about the netcode. Sometimes it seems fine, like pretty good. Sometimes it feels awful. But what makes that significant is how you have to time your just defends. So if it's laggy, there's rollback. If you see, if they just appear at the apex of their jump, how are you going to react to that? And also, how are you going to be able to just defend it, whether you're going to anti-air it or what? So it amplifies the scrambleness that can happen in this game. That's kind of a bummer. The best way I can describe the gameplay of this game at the moment, maybe my opinion changes, is it feels like a fast-paced Street Fighter 6, and it's best enjoyed from the perspective of, I mean, a KOF player for sure. I think they'll appreciate this, and they're like right at home. But to me, it feels like Marvel a lot, where it's fast-paced. You just kind of do your cheapest stuff, and you can get a lot of mileage off of that. But I do think somebody like me will find appreciation for this game in the just defense, the hyper defense cancels. So you find gaps in a lot of gameplay. So there's quite a few things that you can just skip neutral, do a move that has plus frames, then start your offense, cancel a move, you have plus frames, and then just you can keep repeating that process. And on top of that, you have these low jumps, high jumps, and you got this move right here, the Rev Blow, which has high reward. It's a lot like Drive Impact. So if you don't know what you're doing, this game can seem like it's incredibly scrubby. I hate to say it that way, but it really does feel that way. But if you know how to deal with it, you make them look really stupid, I think. And those kinds of players don't stand a chance. But that to me feels like the entry to high level in this game is knowing how to deal with people just throwing out offense. And I kind of don't like that. But I think the more I play it, the less it'll be a factor. And like, it's just look at the way they're playing it right now. Look at this match that's currently playing. Jump in, dash in. This is like threatening the throw, cancel, plus frames. It's like a spacing trap. Misses the combo. And then if they do that kick move, you can actually red parry it. I've been practicing that and actually hit it like 3 times today, and it's pretty good. But if you do the fireball, it's a different red parry timing. So oftentimes you'll get the response that, like what I just described. There's a lot of cheap stuff that you can skip offense, but if you know how to hyper defense, which is like red parry, then you can punish it, which that actually gets scaled. Your punish doesn't do as much damage. You have to use a special move to cancel it, right? Or a Rev Blow. And it costs your heat gauge to do that. So you don't want to spend too much unless you're gonna like win the match. If you red parry and then do a special that costs meter, you're gonna put yourself in burnout too. So the defensive options cost a lot. And I heard they changed that recently. Like they nerfed it. Which is, I mean, that's just how it is. It reminds me of Perfect Parry in Street Fighter 6, how they nerfed that too. But that's a good thing, but it also means that when you turn around the offense, you're also just going to be doing your offense, and you're just going to make them guess again. And basically, what I'm not seeing is a lot of resetting to neutral. What I am seeing is a lot of skip neutral, cancel move. You hit them, big combo into the corner, and then oppressive offense. So you had to be incredibly precise with your defense to stop it. But then when you actually do get an opening, you're going to be doing the same thing. Which, I mean, that's just a lot of fighting games these days. There's nothing wrong. I don't know, right or wrong. It's just however you like to see it, like to play it. But yeah, again, my concern though is if the netcode isn't good, that means offense is dangerous because you're not going to be able to do that the precision defense that you need. And I mean, that really sums it up. As far as the neutral itself, like you can kind of see it right now, how there's just not a whole lot going on. There's moments where it's just incredibly offensive and scrambly, and then there's moments where neutral happens and it's just like nothing. And here's the corner. Okay, they back off. They're both looking for anti-airs. Button, jump. It feels like jumping is so important too. Jump and then jump in footsies. Because if they whiff a button, you might actually jump and punish it. And yeah. It's also broken right now. I think the game in the beta, at least, is not correctly balanced. It's not quite where, probably not where they want it. I've been playing T-Zock, and at first, you know, usually I don't like to do things that are clearly going to get patched out, which is basically the OTG command grab. That seems like it's not intentional just by judging how much damage it does. And maybe they'll keep it and nerf it a little bit, because I think it looks pretty cool. Oh, that'll be the last thing that I want to point out about this game. I don't think this game does a good job of communicating cool moments. The combos like that, I think they're cool for the audience. They do look pretty cool. Me as a boomer, I just feel like I'm waiting so I can play again. Like, all right, just hurry up and finish this dang combo. But if you red parry and then super somebody, it doesn't look that tight. You have to kind of be you have to be like in the know. Like, wow, what they did was sick because they did this. But if you're just looking at it, like it doesn't quite show that. If you see a parry on Hoyokosen in Third Strike, you're like, wow, I get it. They parried a lot of hits. But in this game, it doesn't quite have that oomph to it. So that's a bit troubling. But that's just how it is. Dang, it's been 5 hours already. Nice. What do y'all think? Y'all got any feedback for me before I close out this video? Hey, Max. It's a Third Strike problem is too good. I hated this game yesterday. Today, I give it a 7. But it probably has a lot of room to grow. I think when you first get to high level, this game is terrible. If you don't know how to stop stuff, it's just... You have to lab against characters and specifically know what they're doing. It's been more enjoyable to watch than the recent Street Fighter 6. I think so. I think I like this game better than Street Fighter 6. Yeah. Even though they both feel like 7s. I think a lot of modern games are having trouble emphasizing their big technical moments. Yeah. It feels like it's forced too, like shoehorned. Like slow-mo, big button, here's some colors, you know, like Drive Impact and Drive Rush. Feels like it's pushing you into being hype, you know, like somebody's, hey, go ahead. Like you're about to bungee jump and somebody's like, go ahead, just do it. Be hype. I also don't like the screen freeze of T-Zock 720 because it just, like your character disappears for a little bit. Like, no, I want to see him grab. And then the way he like spins around everywhere, it feels like it's trying too hard. That could be just because it's fresh. Yeah. I do like the execution part of it though, as far as the defensive, like just defending in the air. Like I'll show you real quick before I get some lunch. This character specifically is what I labbed. Hotaru. Okay, so if you want to think of like a skippity skip neutral, so this move, right? Unsafe, but you can cancel it into this move. Now this is advantageous. This is +3. So you can do that move, have your +3, and then do whatever. Walk up throw or run throw, whatever. But it does cost some meter, right? This does cost her 50% of her gauge to, 40% of her gauge to do it. But the response, if I was like a defender of this game, I'd be like, you can just red parry it, bro, right? It's difficult. Late. There we go. And I think ideally I want to do that command grab. Maybe actually in that situation I would do the side switch. But that's the idea, right? You red tech it. But she can cancel it at any point. And this move is 16 frames. And that's really hard to react to with the precision that you need. So if I'm looking for the end of it and she does it early, well then she just gets to do it. So unless I can react in 16 frames, I'm not going to stop this. But I can still do like some psychology here. They know that I'll parry it late, so they're gonna do it early. So then I time my red parry early, so then I can kind of work around it that way. But they also just don't have to do it. They can do like fireball, right? So they can do this move instead, fireball. That's still +1. That's also plus. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like there's solutions to the solutions. And the takeaway is that offense is easy and defense is difficult. And on top of that, if the netcode ain't good with who you're playing against, you're not gonna be able to do those precise defensive options. Cool. All right, I'm gonna go hang out with my daughter for a little bit. This is a good stream. I did enjoy it. This was fun. I got to A rank. I didn't think I would be able to, honestly.